It's precisely this point, folks, that ended up catching my attention. Well, my friends, you who follow the channel already noticed that I don't like to talk about domestic politics, right? But today, in practically all the newspapers I read daily to prepare the video here for the channel and to stay updated for my classes, the topic ended up being covered. Then I started reading the articles and analyzing the way the topic was being addressed by the different outlets. Well, so far I haven't said what the topic was, right? But I'm sure you already know what it is. So now let's see how the international press is treating these actions by the Trump administration and Secretary of State Marco Rubio against the Brazilian judiciary. Well, in general, what we saw in the major newspapers abroad was a very critical coverage, presenting this American offensive as something unprecedented in the relationship between Brazil and the United States. Outlets like The Guardian, Washington Post, and Reuters described the decision to revoke Alexander de Moraes' visa and impose sanctions on other STF, Supreme Federal Court, justices as direct interference in Brazil's internal affairs. According to these articles, the initiative was portrayed as a dramatic escalation, an extraordinary confrontation, even placing Brasilia and Washington in an open diplomatic clash. It's interesting to note how the newspapers contextualized this within a broader framework. Many ended up highlighting the ideological affinity between Bolsonaro and Trump, calling, as you must have already heard, the former Brazilian president the Trump of the Tropics. This closeness was also presented as one of the main explanations for the American stance, as part of a deliberate campaign to protect Bolsonaro from legal consequences, especially regarding the alleged failed coup he supposedly orchestrated. Well, there were also those who noted the synchronicity between the Brazilian judiciary's hardening against Bolsonaro and the moment when Trump and Rubio decided to tighten sanctions. That is, to the international press, all this seems much less like a coincidence and much more like a political strategy and a reaction to the operation and the installation of the electronic ankle monitor on the former president.